And good evening, and welcome to another exciting episode of Art+Stage Talk Radio, where we follow the adventures of your hosts, Tracy Jordan and Heidi Hardy, as they travel through the entertainment scene in North Texas. How are you, Heidi?
I love that opening, the adventures. We have had a lot of really cool adventures.
And a few misadventures, too.
This is true. Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, and
What
you?
a beautiful day.
Yes, and we're cooped up inside.
Well,
Right.
for a short period of time, not too long. We'll be out and about.
But hey, I wouldn't be anyplace else but with you.
Yeah, I agree. Thank
And
you.
we have a very interesting show tonight. We're delighted to have some folks with us from Theater Arlington, and we'll be telling you more about them momentarily. Do you have anything interesting to impart upon us, Heidi?
There's always interesting things to impart, but I want to encourage anyone who's watching or listening to follow us on Facebook. We're sponsored by and presented by the Dance Council of North Texas, and so you can put that in the Facebook search and find us and follow us. They've got some really great posts going on that page.
If you're wondering who is the Dance Council of North Texas,
Yes.
I'll just tell you. They are, we're bringing this program to focus on all things art and culture and on stage here in North Texas. We spotlight our guests and their unique stories and programs, and you can become a sponsor if you're interested, and I know you will be, and a supporter of Art+Stage Talk Radio by calling the Dance Council of North Texas at 214-219-2290, or you can email us at advertising@thedancecouncil.org. You know, sponsorships start at just $25 a show. What a better way to show your support for the arts in North Texas, as well as reach your potential students, clients, and customers. Call us today or email for more information at advertising@thedancecouncil or 214-219-2290. And if you didn't write fast enough to get that, you can play it back in on demand.
I was just going to say the exciting thing about this show is we're live, obviously, now, but you can check out all of the shows. And we have we started in December of 2016. And here we are in May, and it's been a lot of fun adventures.
Exciting days of yesteryear.
We had Lori Darley so check her show out. That was a great show.
Yes.
Yeah, last week was wonderful. So yeah, check us out on Facebook. Make sure you follow us. We're a nonprofit organization, and when the Dance Council approached me, I was so excited to be a part of them because the mission was so great, and that is just let's bring everything art and culture to as many people as we possibly can.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, can I introduce you to our guests tonight?
I would love that. Absolutely.
Tonight with us, we have on the board of directors with Theater Arlington, Parker Fitzgerald.
Hello, Parker.
Hey,
He
how are
is
y'all?
a noted, let me just tell you about Mr. Fitzgerald. He's a noted local actor. He's performed, you've seen him in roles of Kev in The Bengal Tiger at the Baghdad Zoo at Theater 3. You know, I saw that.
Oh, did you?
Weird show.
It really is.
Really
It's quite the trip.
But he's also played in Huck Finn, played Huck Finn in The Big River at Theater Arlington, Wickersham Brother in Seussical at the Dallas Children's Theater, Stee in Beautiful Thing with the Uptown Players, Dr. Douglas and Miss Evers Boys with the African American Repertory Theater, Walker in Two Rooms at Runaway Theater, Barnett Lloyd in Crimes of the Heart, and the MC in Cabaret at Texas Wesleyan University, where he graduated, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So he's also been the plant puppeteer for Little Shop of Horrors at Bass Hall and in the North Carolina Theater, which I'm sure was a fascinating experience.
Fascinating and exhausting. Yes.
And he's toured with Wishing Stars' production of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Batman's, Casa Mañana's Junie B. Jones, Jingle Bells Smells. I can't even say this right.
Tough.
Junie B. Jones, Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. There we go.
Yeah.
Give me a chance, folks. I'll get it right. But as you can see, he's quite a busy man. And
thank you.
and would you like to tell us a little about Nick?
Well, I absolutely would. Hey, Nick, welcome aboard. Welcome to the show. We're really excited to have you.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, you also are with Theater Arlington, and we're going to dig into all things Theater Arlington a little bit in the show. But Nick, you're from South Carolina. And
Carolina.
Carolina.
beautiful part of the country, beautiful. And you, it says you have made yourself a home here in the DFW Metroplex. He is the Group Sales and Outreach Coordinator at Theater Arlington. In addition to working at the theater, he also acts, and that's with a huge exclamation point.
Yes.
Recently being seen as Mr. Bumbrick?
Mrs.
Mrs.
Ooh,
Bumbrick. I'm
twist.
sorry. So I don't have my glasses on. I need
Oh,
you
it's
to.
fine.
And Peter and the Starcatcher at Onstage in Bedford, Texas. And he is currently in the ensemble of Quanah, the Parker Family Saga.
Which is to say, he's circling the wagons in Quanah at Art Stage.
And that's at Lyric Stage in Irving, Texas. And that's really where we are right now. And,
Yes.
and Nick also enjoys teaching through outreach programs and sharing the spirit and his love of theater with everyone.
Surely do.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, guys. Glad to have you here.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we enjoy is getting to know our guests as well as introducing our guests to the audience. So let's start with Parker. I always say, tell us when you knew that the stage and art and everything that you do today was going to be part of your life.
So, my parents, they put me through all sorts of different programs, right? Trying to figure it out, and mainly the sports. And then they realized, oh, he's a theater kid. Okay. I
he
understand
can't
what
throw a
this
ball.
is. No, not to this day. So I guess the genesis of it all would be in third grade. They had some talent show, and I did like this stand-up routine. And that was that moment of then they're like, okay, let's put them in classes and do all that stuff. So I did some classes at Cats for a while, and then in 2001, I auditioned at Theater Arlington they had their first all-youth production, Schoolhouse Rock Live Junior, and they were also auditioning for their new touring show, all-youth touring show called Standing Room Only. Both were directed by Todd Hart. And he hired me on, and then from that point on, TA consumed my childhood and every waking moment. So, that's how I got introduced to the theater and worked there a ton as a child. And so then I grew up, and once I hit 18, I went to college and at Texas Wesleyan, so I was away for a while. Then last year, I did a show at Theater Arlington, a new work called Gracefully Ending. The director, Jim Johnson, asked me to come audition for it, and I love him and liked the show. So while I was doing the show there, the new executive producer, Valerie Galloway, came to me and was like, hey, I really think you should be on the board of directors since you know the theater, for so long. And I will be a youthful and artistic voice on the board. And it was one of those things, as soon as she mentioned to it was like, oh yeah, I guess that's where this goes. It just seemed like a natural step. And I'm really excited to be contributing and giving back to the theater that raised me. So,
Well, and just to back up a bit,
Yeah.
you mentioned your time at Texas Wesleyan. Texas Wesleyan is really one of the best kept secrets
It
in
is.
our area. They have a terrific program over there.
They do, yeah.
And folks go, Texas Wesley, what?
yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
But I've had some other friends that have gone through that program, and it's really terrific.
It really is, yeah. And it's just, I get why people miss it because it's tucked away there in, in Rosedale and all that in the Polytech area. But they have a great program. It's super tight knit. And something that also gets overlooked is just the whole educational experience in general there. Like, there's many classes I took there outside of theater that I think about pretty much every day. And those also color my profession and how I carry myself and approach my art. So it's a great little school, and it's certainly given me a lot over
So
the
if
years.
anybody out there is looking for a good local option for college level musical, well, they don't have a musical theater
No,
program.
it's just
a
straight theater.
Straight theater
Yeah.
program.
Yeah. Well, and the great thing about their space too is it's a black box, and so every time you walk in, it's something completely different. Which I know, especially for all the technical kids who go through. I mean, they get to do a whole range of really cool stuff there. Yeah.
I'm kind of stuck on, you were in third grade and did a monologue?
Yeah. This stupid.
I can just see you, the cute kid standing there and standing in front of an audience.
It was
That's
called
amazing.
Worldwide News. It was like a fake news anchor thing, and where I just went through and did a series of dumb jokes with enough confidence to pass it off, I guess.
And that's
yeah.
amazing.
And that's the origin story, as it were.
Yeah, how fun. And I'm sure your parents were very proud.
Oh God, yeah.
So they took you to Theater Arlington and sort of dropped you off, and you took classes there, and
yeah, I would take classes there. I would do pretty much all the all youth productions that they do every year, but the big one was SRO, Standing Room Only, their touring show. It was essentially their Casa Kids, and they still have it going at the theater, and I did that for 8 years, and we perform all over. I like to joke that with the amount of good and community service I did through it. Like, not that I would ever commit a crime, but if I did, I think I could write it off because of the amount of senior homes I performed at and stuff. They'd look at my record and be like, he's got a free one. So
I've never heard that before, but so like the brownie points, you've stacked them up.
Yes.
And
Oh my
you gotta
God.
cash them in.
Spades. Yeah. I have vaults worth of brownie points. Yeah.
Awesome. And so today you are on the board, and that being on the board of any nonprofit is a little bit it's unique and challenging and fun and rewarding. But what kind of things are you seeing in Theater Arlington today as a board member? I mean,
well, I'm really excited to be coming on board. Sorry for that.
It's a joke, folks.
I know. Whoa. At this particular time, especially with Val taking over as executive producer, and she's got a really exciting vision for the theater that I am definitely in line with and agree with.
And that would be
Valerie Galloway. Yes. And so coming in at this time just feels really special, and like where she wants to take the theater with the works she wants to produce. I'm all for, I know the theater's really talking about renovations and their capital campaign, and a lot of really cool stuff is coming in the pipeline. So it's really exciting to be coming in at the ground level on it.
This is a really fascinating time in the Metroplex in arts and culture. You've got a new leadership there at Theater Arlington. Dallas Summer Musicals has got Ken Novice coming on. Water Tower Theater, Theater 3, all have new leadership there. So it's an exciting time to see what's going to percolate and develop with this new influx of new vision.
It really is, yeah.
Well, the thing, I'm an Arlington resident. I love Arlington. It's my home, and I absolutely love it. And I think, the important part is that you guys are looking for more support, right? Well, I mean, obviously Arlington supports the arts. They're great at that. But as you grow and you have these capital campaigns, but getting the word out that, hey, we're here, and when you want entertainment, when you want to see a world-class show, come see us.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, from a board member's perspective.
Even better, our area was just declared a cultural district. Right. Just a few months back. So it really is a great time for us to leap onto the scene and become a pillar in the community.
Sure, and grow and renovate and all those fun things.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, cool. Well, we, like I said, I'm a fan of Arlington. I know that they love their arts, and so I look forward to watching that transition and sort of blossoming of even more arts in Arlington. Speaking of, we're about to go to a break, and that's going to be the latest show that they have, which is Legally Blonde. I love the movie, so I'm sure this is going to be a great performance.
You'll love the musical.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's take a quick break, and you're listening to Art and Stage. I'm Heidi Hardy, and we'll be right back.
This is going fantastic. I've never worked this hard on the show, especially outside, and I just am loving it so much, and it really is as cliche as it sounds, it's really a dream come true. And I've had so much fun, and I've been sweating a lot, but in the best way because it means working hard.
And now some legal jargon. Woo! Yeah. Go Al. Get it.
With this show, when I was 10 years old, I went to New York for the first time because it's my family tradition that when you turn double digits, you get to go to whatever state you choose. And I chose New York City because I've known that I wanted to do musical theater since I was practically in the womb. And when I went there, I got to see my first Broadway show, which was Legally Blonde. And ever since then, playing Elle Woods has been my dream role, even though I've been a brunette my whole life, except for now. And so I didn't think it would happen, honestly, this time around because I am fairly young. But it did, and it was one of the best moments of my life when I got the call, and I'm still made fun of here for crying. I got the call. So yeah, there's my history with it. To be honest, I found out about the audition 2 days before, and I was really excited because I knew it was going to be a fun audition process. That was also just super fun, and honestly, like the other L's that got called back, we had a lot of bonding, and it was really, really nice to do that.
Back to the sun, back to the shore, back to what I was before. Lie on the beach, dream within reach, don't stray beyond.
Austin is just a crush. He is so great. He has so much energy, but doesn't take any crap from anyone, which I
Welcome
really
back. This is Heidi
appreciate
Hardy, and you're listening to Art and
he's been
Stage
working
Talk
really
Radio
hard,
Show.
right? Thank you
We
so much for jumping in so
just
quick.
shared a couple of minutes of a clip. Theater Arlington is airing or showing Legally Blonde, and it starts when?
May 12th.
May 12th.
May 12th. May 12th. So time to get tickets and time to set up a date night and get out there and it looks amazing. So in studio, obviously my handsome co-host Tracy Jordan.
What, who, me?
And we have Parker Fitzgerald. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Nick Blocker.
Thank you.
Hey, Nick. Yeah, we were learning a little bit about you, Parker, before we took the video break, and we appreciate your story. I think what fascinates me the most about all of our guests is they have these great stories that there's someone out there that's going to watch this show, and they're aspiring to do what you've done in your career and what you're continuing to do, and that's what we want to connect the dots with, right?
Yeah.
And not just that, the other part of the show that I really appreciate, there are people who maybe aren't exposed to the arts and the stage part of the entertainment in Arlington, and so or around the Metroplex, and so we really want those people to try a show.
Yeah.
Something like Legally Blonde would be a great sort of, if you've
Perfect
never
jumping point. Yeah.
Right.
tell me why. I mean, if you've never done a show, somebody would jump in and really enjoy that.
Oh, I think something like Legally Blonde's a great show with a low barrier to entry, right? You're just going to go there. You're going to have a really fun time.
You don't have to think real hard.
You don't. No, you don't. And there's a time and place for that.
Right.
And
It's
then,
just great entertainment.
yeah, exactly. And then if you want a little bit deeper, I mean, there's plenty other spaces and theaters that can provide that, and I think TA always holds a spot in its season where we're, okay, this is our big heady show, right?
Well, you made a great point. You said it has a low barrier of entry.
Yeah.
But this show in particular, I think if you're a person who's not been into musicals in the past, most folks have seen the movie.
Yeah.
And it very closely follows the movie. It's like the movie. It's the same, only different.
Yeah.
It very closely follows the script, but it has some great songs, some funny songs in it.
Yes.
And opportunities for comedy and laughs that, because of the music, weren't available in the film.
Totally.
In the film.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're thinking this is something I'm interested in checking out, this is a great one.
Yes.
Definitely. And next weekend, on the 13th, we are having a partnership with Legal Draft, which is a brewery close to the theater.
That's right.
Yeah. Where you
Awesome.
Now you got my attention.
I know, right? Where you can come $20 and you get 3 beers, and if you pay $40, you get the 3 beers and a ticket to the show afterwards. And that's how you do evenings, folks.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Talk about a
Like they
great
say
evening.
in Vegas, the more you drink, the better I am.
Well, on that note, so we do have a sponsor, and I'm very proud of this sponsor. I'd like to give it a plug, because one of the things that I've found wonderful about this show is it's proof that this radio broadcasting and podcasting and digital media is working for a lot of organizations and programs. And so Real Life Media is proud to be a part of this show. And just a couple of statistics here. 21% of Americans ages 12 and up have listened to a podcast in the past month, and that's up from 17% in 2015. And monthly podcast listenership has increased 75% since 2013.
Are you serious? Are you kidding?
Wow.
That's
It
amazing.
is. It is. I know. And radio broadcasts is an estimate 47%, or 127 million people said they listened to online radio in the last month, and that's up 33% in 2013. And what's Real Life Media has produced and hosts the show and been a partner to the Dance Council. And we are proud to watch the show go from that first episode, which was wonderful but a little bit nerve-wracking, to where we are today with wonderful guests every single week. And so we appreciate you and want to encourage folks to create a podcast, create a radio show. Let's, don't go out to the media, become the media, and Real Life Media can help you do that. So you can call 817-891-6472 or catch us at www.HeidiHardyRealLife.com.
Well, and as president of Dance Council of North Texas, I can certainly lend my endorsement. Folks, if you're looking for a media strategy, particularly having to do with social media and broadcast, give a talk. Give a talk to Real Life Media. They can be a tremendous help to you.
Thank you. And without further ado, Mr. Blocker, I don't know, would you like to introduce Nick?
Well, without further ado, or a don't, as the case may be, Nick, I wanted to talk to you. Tell me, now you started off, you said, in South Carolina.
Yes.
And I want to know what got you to, well, first of all, and I'm not sure what order they came in, but tell us what got you involved and interested in acting, and how you got to Texas.
Definitely. Well, I actually was in band in middle and high school, and my
What'd you
band-
play?
I played euphonium.
Oh, my.
I wanted to play saxophone, and I still say my band director tricked me, but but I'm very glad he did, because it offered a
It
lot
was
of
3 years
opportunities.
before I realized I wasn't playing the saxophone. I was playing a damn euphonium.
Yeah, he was like, maybe you should try out euphonium. And I said, well, why not? I'm in the 6th grade. I don't know what I want. But it opened a lot of opportunities to me, regional bands and, just advancements in music that I didn't think I would have an opportunity to have. And he gave us an opportunity every year to go on a band trip, and we went to different places all over the nation. And my freshman year, we went to New York. And up until then, I'd heard about theater. I didn't really, it was just a thing. I just started music, so I just dabbled in the arts. And on that I think first or second night we went to see The Lion King, and I still remember my seat. I was in the very back, the very last row. I was on I can't remember the letter or the number, but I was right on the edge of the aisle and my seat the entire show. I didn't move during intermission. I just sat there just watching. Then as soon as they sung the first note, I knew that was exactly what I was supposed to do. And as soon as I got back home a week later, I was on the internet looking up every musical known to man, finding out everything I possibly could, gather on the internet. But,
Okay, so you went to New York, you got inspired to go into the theater,
Yes, sir.
and you said, I'm going to Texas.
well, yeah, right. I went through high school, graduated, and went to college, and as a part of we call it a capstone program at my university, Lander University. There's a plug there, but right. But as a part of your final part of your program, you are to do an internship, and I was calling all around the nation, looking for places because I'm from South Carolina. I can't just easily drive, and I wanted a out-of-state experience. So I wanted to go to Florida. I went and looked up information to the Hippodrome, and fate just didn't send me there. And I have family here in Texas who I live with, and I was coming here on vacation, and I was like, what are the things to do in Arlington, Texas? So I literally Googled theaters in Arlington, Texas. And Theater Arlington popped up first, and I clicked on their website, and I saw an education tab, and I saw internships, and
And the fickle finger of fate did
right,
its work.
right. I called,
amazing.
I called my boss,
Wow.
Cindy Honeycutt. We played phone tag for like 2 weeks. Then I flew out. I did an internship for 3 weeks, and that following March of my senior year, she called me and said, "We want you to come on back out." So I said, "Let me do one more show here, and I'll drive on out." 16-hour drive.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I got in about, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we started summer camp that day. So I only had like 2 hours.
What?
Got here, unpacked the car. took
You're a
nap.
trooper.
Yeah, I was delirious for a couple days,
Yeah.
but
Okay, kids, shut up.
so yeah. And I've been here ever since. 2 years in July.
And the time flies. Goes by like that, doesn't it?
It truly has.
Seems like only yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's an awesome story. So, do you go back to South Carolina as often as possible, or?
Not as often as I would hope,
Okay.
since the theater business here keeps you so busy all the time.
Yeah.
I've probably 4 or 5 times. I at least try to go once a year, as long as I can plan it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
to see family and friends that I don't get to see a lot. So.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, if I can actually make the point, you two fine young men are a perfect example of you don't have to live in New York to make a living
Yes.
in theater,
Right.
doing what you love.
Yes, a lot of my friends still say, "What? How did that happen? How did you move to Texas and you're still living your dream? You gotta go and you gotta be brave." So.
Yeah. Well, Texas, I mean, we really have a rich, I guess, metropolis of
Yes.
art and culture, and we've had some. The city of Plano was here, and they talked about how they've sort of, their mayor put some money and effort and time into rebuilding that part of their city. And so I think that anyone who is looking to do that, to grow their career, this is a great place to start, at least.
And I think it's only going to grow since a certain theater got a regional Tony yesterday.
Right.
That certainly doesn't hurt, right? No, and I think I've been really obsessing about this a lot lately. I think there's a lot of merit as an artist sticking to, in my case, where I grew up, and okay, I want to tell stories for the community I know, the community I love, and by that community, and I think there is great value in that, because you see so many things. It's, when you turn on your television, it's like either all New York or LA, and I think there is a void of stories from different areas of the country, and it's something I would like TA and the rest of DFW to get really focused on. It's like, all right, let's start telling our stories. And I mean, I guess this, the Kiwanis show is a good example of telling a story from around here, and I know a lot of theaters have started doing that, but something I've been really thinking a lot about lately.
I think you're onto something. I have.
I agree.
For a guy who has spent his entire working life in the entertainment industry, and I'm going to be partisan here. I love to go to New York and LA and see shows, but I don't want to live there. And we talked about this with the Plano folks. Dallas and the Metroplex is not a vacation destination. You don't hear people say, "Hey, I'm going to Dallas for vacation." Right.
Yeah.
Because there's not a draw there from a vacation standpoint. But in terms of quality of life, it's really hard to beat this area.
Right.
And as big as it has grown, each area has its own cultural entities.
Totally.
And
Totally.
provides that quality of life for the residents, whether you're in Plano or Irving or Fort Worth, Arlington, Grand Prairie.
Right.
And if you don't live in Grand Prairie or Arlington, you can still go over there and catch it. There is, I watch so little television because most nights of the week, now I freely admit I'm a junkie this way. But most nights of the week, I'm going to see a show in a small theater in some part of. I was in Denton last night seeing a show.
There's always something going on.
Always,
There really is.
always.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing that, and this will hopefully tie into the other, what your position there is, and that is how it is, nurturing young artists.
Yes.
And in this area, there are a number of organizations that are ready for that third grader or the freshman.
Right.
And so tell us more about how Theater Arlington and your position does that in the community.
Yes. Excuse me. We have so many different outlets at the theater, whether it be classes after school during the school year, or I'm a part of an outreach program called ACT UPS, and we have teachers that go into the AISD, into Title I schools, and provide them with an opportunity of the arts that they wouldn't necessarily have. In this community, in most communities, honestly, middle and high schools, there's a theater teacher or someone that has a general grasp of theater that can tell them about it. But the earlier you can teach, that way they can get an idea and a yearning for it. That way, by the time they get to high school, they're ready to go.
Well, statistics have shown you capture your future audience at that young age.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So just bringing that opportunity to them into schools is what we strive to do, and hopefully they'll branch out and become future actors.
And they don't have to be from Arlington, right?
No, we have students that travel to our shows to be part of our shows, our youth programs. Our ACT UPS program is actually just in Arlington, but we are hosting this summer. It's new. We're doing partnerships with our summer camps and our outreach programs to where we're going to Fort Worth, and we're traveling out with another partnership. So
How many kids typically do you reach in a summer?
in a summer, our max number for an entire summer is 200.
Wow.
And that spans over the age of about 5 to 6 to 16.
Wow.
And we offer, it depends on what time of the summer you'd like to bring your child. Hopefully we can have a camp that suits them. So that it just depends on the camp is what we offer.
And what age ranges do you work with?
Just that 5 to 16. Sometimes we have a few 18-year-olds come to our actual classes during the year, but once we are past 18, it's more of a private lesson type of situation. That way you can get that one-on-one.
So you actually, adults can come in and take classes too.
Yes, we've had performance. Adults come in for private lessons. We have a senior citizen touring group called the Tag Players. They go out, it's kind of like
They just don't tour very fast.
right. Well, you'd be surprised. They're a great group. They're a great group. So yeah, we essentially all ages.
It's got to be a cool job.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yes, I'm very, very thankful that I've had the opportunity to come here because I get to see a lot, and I'm doing a lot more than I thought I would be doing by 24. I just graduated college, so.
Do you get the feeling that your the reach and breadth of the people that you're reaching, perhaps in terms of your subscriptions or your ticket sales for individual shows, is growing? What's that scene look like in Arlington?
I believe it is growing, and that's something we on the board we're constantly talking about. We're also making a conscious effort to diversify, and because usually TA's audience tends to be, older citizens, and our upcoming season, we very much put a lot of thought into like, okay, how can we get those younger audiences? And there has honestly never been a better time for that with musicals like Hamilton, which brings in everybody, right?
Right.
And has such a wide appeal. So I think we're really going to go into a renaissance of a lot of interesting new works being developed because that show and others have proved like, hey, different's really good and different. It will make you money and make you think in new ways. Yeah.
Do you all ever work with anyone developing new works?
Well, Theater Arlington, we did the
AACT.
The AACT, yeah, the New Play Festival, and that's the show that I came back and did that eventually led to my board position. They produced the new work, and it was a lot of fun to do. It was a really neat little show. I think I mentioned it earlier. It was called Gracefully Ending, and
Beautiful show.
Yeah, it was. It really was, and that's my favorite kind of roles to play. And it's very rare that you get to do it, but when you do a show that no one else has done this before, you are originating this character. You don't have to worry about seeming like you're copying someone else, right, or anything like that. You get to just color it your own way, and that's really, really special.
Well, we really want to learn more about the season, the 2016, is it 2016-2017 season or 2017-28 season that you're in at the
We're in the 2016-2017 right now.
Okay,
right now.
And we have wonderful information about that, so we'll be able to after this break. But what we're breaking for is your video, and so we plug your social media. And how would somebody learn more about these programs that you do, Nick? Just kind of give us more info about how to get in touch with you guys.
The best way is on our Facebook. It's just Theater Arlington, theater with an R-E.
Yes.
Yes, on Facebook. That's what we keep that up to date probably within multiple times of a day.
Okay.
So, and we post audition notices on there as well, and just upcoming information on performances and classes. We have a class breakdown and prices as well as summer camps. It's mostly just the Facebook, but our website, theaterarlington.org as well. We also update that as well.
Yes, it's a great website. I gotta
Theatre.
So like Facebook
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes,
Make
like
sure
Facebook.
to like the page. And
Definitely.
let's take a look at this video and we'll be
Let's
right
do it.
back.
I'm Tika Cook with My Arlington TV, and on this episode of Backstage Arlington, we're here at Theater Arlington, where anyone can reach their potential in theater. So let's go check out a class.
Mother always said be kind to strangers, but she doesn't know what they destroy.
This is musical theater for 11 to 13-year-olds, and this is Erica, who is 12, Kira, who is 11, Luke, who is also 11, and their teacher, Maggie Youngkin.
Aren't they amazing? Right? And they do it really because at that age, they do it because they enjoy it. They come to class because that's what they want to do.
Every feeling I know is impossibly so.
The theater has classes for every age group, including adults, and class isn't just practicing for the next performance. There are games that help you with ad-libbing.
Oh, is it my turn?
Like this one, where you act like you're on a park bench with someone
Hey, what's up?
and try to get them to leave.
Because you see that little spot right there? Like, you see it right, do you see it? Like, right there. Oh man,
Their energy and their enthusiasm is contagious.
Especially when making up an infomercial.
Hello, everybody. This is the Info
Then it was my turn.
2 words. Hidden Hills. All right, ladies. I know they're not the new thing.
Why Theater Arlington? Because it's a great home. The kids that we see, not only do you see kids in this environment, so these kids coming, but I'm a big advocate for our outreach programs.
Those include a youth touring company where instructors like Maggie go into the community and share their gifts, as well as a tour group for senior citizens.
Good. You remember it. Oh, wow. We love that, and that's why I continue to stay here.
And welcome back to Art+Stage Talk Radio. This is your host, Tracy Jordan.
With Heidi Hardy.
And tonight we're talking with the guys from Theater Arlington. And guys, we're delighted to have you with us tonight. Tell us, we were talking about some of the fun things that you do, but give us a little bit of a history. We've talked about your own personal histories, but tell us a little bit about the history of Theater Arlington itself. How long has it been around?
Yeah.
It's been around about 30, 40-ish years, a little more. Yeah, it started around 1973 with a group of players, I guess I could say, called the Potluck Players. And they did their show, Light Up the Sky, which we actually did, not this current season, but the past
season, for the anniversary.
Yes, and since then they've moved. They moved to a church at around, 1981,
right?
Yes, 81. And since then they've moved again to the space that we have now on Main Street. And then in 2000 we bought our administrative building. So now we have two separate entities, but the same.
Yeah.
So, but we've just continue. It's just expansion as we hope to go into the future.
And they just bought the theater, so they own it themselves
own the
now.
theater.
That's an exciting thing for us.
It's a very exciting thing.
Congratulations. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and all that is on the webpage, and it's fascinating because if you think about just a few people sort of getting together and deciding that they're going to create their own art.
Right, and we actually have a founding member, Shirley Orr. She's actually our bookkeeper, and she tells stories all the time. If I'm just having a slow day, I'll just go stop by her cubicle, and she'll tell me a story about the old times. So it's really cool to be able to be in the new, but still hear older stories and how the theater actually got its start. So.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, I'm and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Parker Fitzgerald is with us. He's on the board of Theater Arlington. And Nick Blocker, who is the group sale and outreach coordinator. If you have a group that would like to buy tickets as a group and come see a show, he's the man to talk to.
Yeah.
And but I'm looking at your flyer, and my Lord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shows in your season.
They do a lot, yeah. They keep busy, definitely.
Yes. When we have groups come in, I like to call it the 3-show rotation. There is a show on stage. There's a show that is being built for the next after, and there's a show in audition, or just having started rehearsal by the time that show hits the stage. So we're always constantly working on the next.
Yeah.
It's impressive. It's very impressive. It's like almost breakneck speed of going from one.
Very rarely dark.
Right. Yeah. It's like a 2-week turnaround.
Yeah.
And in the course of, say, a year, how many actors do you have working in productions at your theater?
Oh, that could
Interesting
range.
question. Yeah, it really depends on what we do. Like, usually the first show we do is big and flashy, usually a musical, and we'll have a big cast, then followed by a smaller show. There's always a ton of people in the Christmas show. Then, yeah, really ranges, but I guess I'd say 100 different actors, somewhere around there.
I'd say
Maybe
100, a little more with this season. A little
Not this season.
Yeah,
This season.
we
There's a ton of
did
people.
with our musicals. The cast were, necessary to be a little large. So I'd probably say about 100, 150.
Well, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 musicals, big musicals, Guys and Dolls, Christmas Carol, School of Rock. That's probably the smallest cast of all. And then Legally Blonde, good heavens, that's a cast of thousands.
Actually, School of Rock was the largest.
Really?
Yes, we had. It was our youth musical this season, and I was lucky enough to choreograph it. And we had 31 students, all under the age of 18.
Now, were they playing the instruments? Or air guitar?
They were. Most of them know how to play instruments, and if they knew how to play, if they weren't playing on stage, they were playing in our actual pit. We had a live pit for that show. But yeah, I will be honest, no, they weren't. However, theater is a magical thing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And seeing it on Broadway, you learn how to get around things. So.
Well, I just, just folks, if you haven't seen School of Rock, it's again a musical adaptation of the movie with Jack Black. But on the Broadway show, they have young kids that are playing these musical instruments. And my first thought was, what a pain in the neck to cast that show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's something that, with the 31 kids, I think is really great about Theater Arlington is they do their best to try to include as many people as possible. And I know from growing up there and going through their children's program, one of the things that's always been a staple for them is not only producing great performers, but making good people, which I think is, in my opinion, the most important thing for any educational outlet, right? And everyone who goes through there, they come out a kinder person, a more understanding person, a harder working person, and more of a team player. And it was certainly true for me, it's certainly true for everyone in my grade that went through there. And it's easily one of the things I'm most proud of the theater for.
Well, the video that we just watched was something that Nick, you said that you were in, and so tell us, because that's really the visual that we're talking about is the work and the fun and all the things that go with it.
Yes, Downtown Arlington came in and they just shadowed our class just to see what we're about and see why we have so many kids coming in to be a part of our youth programs. And it's great to see, and just to piggyback off of what you were saying, we do our best. Even if you don't enjoy the show that we're doing, it's about building a foundation for a kid to become themselves and a better version of themselves than they already are. So it's just to see, a kid, when they walk in at the very beginning of the semester and they're quiet and they're, they don't want to talk. And then one day a camera comes in and it's just like, you know what, I'm just going to be me. And they were them. So
It gives them the ability to communicate,
Exactly.
right? And express themselves, which is
It's always fascinating and inspiring to see those light bulb moments with kids when it clicks with them and they realize, because so many times these kids don't know what they have. And they start to discover that talent, that whole process of self-discovery. It's always just a kick in the pants to watch.
Well, I have 3 grown children and I have grandsons, and I think more than ever, it's important that they're around others that share that interest, and instead of being weird or feeling different, they're in an environment where that talent is again nurtured and fostered and mentored to a level where they see themselves in a future, and that's an evolution for a lot of communities, a lot of communities that are maybe didn't have that in the past.
I'm interested to know what kind of support you get from the community and from the city of Arlington. Is it do they promote the arts out there?
Yeah, they do, and they're definitely, with just the declaration of Arlington as a cultural district, they're going to be expanding that a lot more. There's also the Levitt Pavilion right next to Theater Arlington, which always has shows and music concerts going on. So it's really starting to evolve into quite the spot.
If you have not been to that, the downtown historic area,
I love that down
it's
there.
fun. Yeah, it's fun, and they've got a lot of things going on over
Folks,
there.
Arlington is not all just Six Flags and Jerry's
And
World.
and the Rangers. No, they're really it's deep with a lot of wonderful opportunities. So we really appreciate that you guys bring that message with you. Let's talk a little bit about the future. I mean, obviously
Coming attractions.
you've got all these shows going on. obviously this is going to be a very busy year. Tell us how you choose these shows. And Parker, you said something earlier that you're trying to choose shows to diversify the audience and to appeal to a broader audience.
It's very much been in the zeitgeist of when thinking about it, and all the credit mainly goes to our executive producer Valerie Galloway, and they
She knows you use a word like zeitgeist.
that's why I'm here.
Permission to use that word.
But she assembled the season and gives her vision to the board, and I'm very much behind it. They will be announcing it at the opening night of Legally Blonde, so
There you go.
there's another good reason.
To see the show.
So I can't talk about what the season is, but I think they've done a good job of selecting plays that scratches almost every itch,
Yep.
right?
Absolutely. Well, if you look at the website or the brochure, there's something for everyone
Yes.
on here.
And I do want to plug, now that you say that, something for everyone. Working with the youth program, it's always fun to hear, people say, oh, it's a youth show. I don't want to, but I will tell you, and Parker is a true testament to that. Our youth shows, the first night, we first meet the parents and the kids, we say that this isn't a youth show, this is a show.
Exactly.
And we are training youth, so we don't treat them as youths. So I always say you're not coming to see a youth show. So, and just like
That's very true.
the School of Rock on Broadway, there are adults playing multiple roles, but in the youth production, there are teens playing 3 and 4 different roles that adults on Broadway are playing and singing the same notes. So I always say it's for everyone. Our entire season is for everyone, for every single show.
If someone is interested in a season subscription, kind of talk about what levels they can come in at that.
Yes, we do have different levels, and I don't want to give away because they may be changing for the next season, so the different titles. But depending on your price range, we do have ticket packages for 7. That's for one adult. They'll get you a season package through each adult show without the youth show. And we also have another with 9, and that goes through the entire season with the youth shows. We do have a gold package, which gets you... can't think of the specific number right now, but it's I think it's double for the entire season. And then we have a diamond VIP package, which is fantastic if you are a part of a group, let's say a women's group or even a theater group. You never know, or a high school group that might want to buy a subscription. But that entails everything.
And you're really talking about a show a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, one of the things I want to make sure to mention is we would take the kids when they were younger to Casa Mañana. And so when we go back to that, it's for everyone. The opportunity to have a show where kids want to go. And that's, anywhere from, comprehensive age of 4, or, where they can watch something like Pinocchio or School of Rock and really sit there in a theater environment, learn how to engage, and it's not, so it taught my kids that there was a different level of entertainment, and so we really appreciate those shows. And you're right, it's not a youth show; it's
a
show being put on by actors that are younger and really engaging. So yes, go out to Arlington this year, preferably May 12th.
May 12th,
Opening night
week, folks.
for Legally Blonde.
We have just a few tickets left, so they're selling really
Oh
fast.
wow! Okay, I gotta get online. But this show always goes by really fast. So we're so grateful that you came and brought the message of the wonderful venue that you have, and the list of awesome opportunities to get out there and have a date night or bring the family.
Definitely.
To the theater.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any last words?
Folks, we would appreciate you tuning in to listen with us every week. And if you'd like to become a member of the Dance Council of North Texas, if you would like to, you can go on the website. There's a number of membership benefits. enjoy listening to Art and Stage Talk Radio and have missed any of the previous broadcasts that we've had, or would just like to listen to them again, you can do that on demand through our website at thedancecouncil.org.
Absolutely. Again, thank you, Parker. Thank you, Nick. Looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Excellent. Looking forward to seeing the next curtain up at Theater Arlington.
Absolutely. Next week we have another wonderful show next week, and so thank you for tuning in.